Good afternoon readers, it's Tilly here from Tilly's Shelf and welcome to a very exciting announcement video. So in just a couple of weeks it will be the start of February, and the start of February, for those of you who were around last year, means the start of Sagalong. So this video is about announcing Sagalong 2020. So this time last year, if you were around, you may remember, there was the first ever Sagalong, and that was created by Elena Macrodina, and she has involved a whole range of hosts, some of whom were around for last year and then some of whom are added in for this year. I'm just going to read them out now before I forget. So like I said, Elena Macrodina is the organiser. Then we have Mark at Richardson Reads, Jason at Byways in Bookland, Lukash at Totally Pretentious, Elizabeth at Bookish North, Michael McGrath and myself, which makes a total of 7 co-hosts for this event. So there will be loads and loads of options and loads of videos to watch and to choose from if you would like to participate in this, which I strongly encourage you to do so. Everyone will be posting their announcement videos today. I will leave links to all of these channels in the description, and when I see the different announcement videos I will try to link to all of those, and I'm sure that everyone will do the same kind of thing. So if you find one announcement video, you should be able to find your way to the whole of the Sagalong story. So this time last year, I actually still need that. So this time last year, Sagalong was all about looking at 4 shorter sagas for 1 week at a time over the course of February. And if you were watching this channel at all, you will know well, you may remember that happened to coincide with the trip that Bo and I went on to Norway. And so reading the sagas and going to Norway at the same time really worked very well for me, and I tried to incorporate that a little bit into a couple of the videos that I did on this channel. I didn't do a huge amount, but this year I'm very excited to be a bit more involved and to do a little bit more. So I guess I better tell you what we're actually going to be reading. So we're doing a little bit of a kind of like a half and half effect with Sagalong this year. So the first 2 weeks is like, I'm kind of thinking of it as like the compulsory module on a course. Like, it's not compulsory, we're not going to come around and force you all to participate, but we are all doing the same book, the same saga. The Saga of the People of Laxardal. It is also called the Laxdala Saga. I guess the thing with this being translated from a very old language is there are variants on the ways that people translate it. If you would like to translate it even further, you could call it the Saga of the People of the Valley of the Salmon-Filled River, which is a bit of a long-winded title, but I find it really interesting to know because Laxa means the salmon-filled river, and Dal is like, I guess it's like the dale. It must presumably come from the same root and means valley of. So yeah, so it is an intergenerational story written in about 1270. This is when I stupidly closed my notebook. No, sorry, written in about 1245, but it's set across multiple preceding generations. It's a saga that's known for having a really strong female character, and it's based around a series of romantic entanglements that this woman has and the ways that her suitors kind of play off against each other. There are so many strong female characters, in fact, throughout this saga that it has actually been proposed that it could have been by a female author, but we don't actually know who did write it. So that's just some speculation for you, but it's quite interesting. And I am reading the Penguin Classics translation, and this is based on the Kniva Kunz translation. And if you have seen the massive Sagas of the Icelanders Penguin book that's absolutely massive and looks like a murder weapon, I believe that's the same translation. So it's quite a common and easily available translation. If you are looking to read this online, if you don't have a physical copy, you may well find the 1880 translation by Muriel AC Press. That's available on Gutenberg and also a website called Saga Database. I'll link both of those below so that you can find the text online if you want to read it that way. So yes, I am not going to go on for too long about it because I've already probably taken too long for an announcement video. I've never had to do one of these before, can you tell? And then for the second 2 weeks, we're doing what I'm thinking of as the optional module, where you can, well, we as hosts have all picked our own things that we want to talk about, our own different sagas, and you as a participant can choose to read as many or as few as you wish to. So everyone has picked a relatively long, relatively meaty saga to talk about over 2 weeks. And I am going to be talking about the Volsunga saga, or the Saga of the Volsungs. And the moment I saw this, I was like, this is the one that I really, really want to do. Not just because the book is beautiful, but because it is about the story of Sigurd the Dragon Slayer, which is frankly epic. While we were in Norway, we saw quite a few carvings that related back to this idea of the legend of Sigurd the Dragon Slayer, and if you watched the introduction to this, hopefully you did, otherwise I don't know how you'd have got to this point in the video, there is actually a small picture of what is thought to be an image of Sigurd as like in a part of that legend that is frequently depicted on wood carvings. It's also found, I believe, in the Gotland stone carvings. So it's quite a well-known motif of in kind of Norse carvings, that the idea of this character of Sigurd. He's also a character who is possibly linked to a more Germanic tradition. There is a legend called the Nibelungunleid, I'll write it properly in the description, called Sigurd, who also has a very similar journey, and it's thought that they are actually like two versions of the same tale. One of them written down in Iceland in around about 1270, and one of them written down more in kind of Central Europe. So yeah, so it's an interesting way in which we can look at how the tale has kind of diverged over the years. It's a story that has always remained quite familiar to people over the years, even after the original saga text was kind of lost, just because of that presence in art. So, yeah, I'm really excited to read this. We don't have, as far as I'm aware, a set timetable for the reading of the Laxardal saga, but we will be posting videos on Saturday the 8th of February and Saturday the 15th of February. And then for the next 2 weeks, which will be the 22nd and 29th of February, there are 44 chapters of this according to my edition, so I'm proposing to read up to the 22nd chapter for the first week, which is the chapter Brynhild's Wise Counsel, and then the following week I will start again with Concerning Sigurd's Appearance. You may have noticed that there is a bookmark in here. I haven't cheated and started reading ahead of time. That's Bo's bookmark because I told him that he should probably read it. Another reason that I was really keen to read the Saga of the Volsungs is because it is thought to have had an impact on other areas of European culture. It's thought to have influenced Wagner's ring tetralogy and also Tolkien in terms of the idea of killing dragons, and there's also apparently a very important magical ring. So he also rewrote this story into the tale of Sigurd and Gudrun, I believe. So that was another way in which he worked with that legend. So hopefully we will be talking about all of this in a bit more depth as we get further into February, and yeah, I'm very, very excited about this. If you want to join us on reading the Saga of the Volsungs, and you don't have this very beautiful, beautiful copy that I bought in Waterstones with my student discount, which I'm enjoying greatly, then it is available online as well. It has been translated by William Morris, so that's another person who it was an influence on, who was helped by someone called Erika Magnusson, and that is available online on Gutenberg and also on a website called Sacred Text, so I will link to both of those so that you have the options to join in with that. And it has been described in various places as the most important heroic saga. It's a saga of antiquity, so it looks at the story of people from Iceland before they arrived in Iceland, if that makes sense. And it has been described as one of the most important of those. So I think that's really exciting and a really good reason to choose this one as your saga for the second set of 2 weeks. But obviously, whichever you choose to read, if you choose to join us for both or none, or whoever's video it inspires you the most, I really hope that you come and join in with Sagalong this year. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you more about this in February. Bye! Whereas sagas tend to be about completely lost my train of thought.